What's up, you guys? This is Civil Disobedience bringing you the latest in reviews of Netflix docu-series, movies, and I want you guys to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, Petty as Hell, the bell, and leave your thoughts and opinions below. Be sure to hit that bell so that you receive a notification when I upload new content. So, Self-Made was a little disappointing to me, not because of the actors and actresses. I feel like they portrayed what they were given by way of a script. However, the movie, even for entertainment purposes, was so biasly against the image and reputation of the first female millionaire. It was almost as if they were trying to knock her claim to fame. Okay. So first and foremost, I want you guys to know that with Madam CJ Walker being from Delta, Louisiana, this right here, she's a homegirl. So her history is very well known to us here. And before she left here, she was already working on her own hair care product, okay? Because the mixture was something that black women could freely mix. She was a washerwoman by trade, yes. But she was making her own hair care product to cure her own hair problems. So by the time she met the lady that's portrayed in the movie as Eddie Monroe, and we'll get to that later, she was already a person who was she was basically like a little chemist, okay? So I felt like Octavia Spencer portrayed Madam C.J. Walker in a fair light. I don't feel that wardrobe gave her a fair shot in the sense of depicting her in more so clothes that were fitting to her size. I feel like the script itself wanted to play on a domineering woman as opposed to a woman who had the right people on her team at the right time for her to blow up the way that she did. And I feel they wanted to make her look more conniving and more like the whole stealing the products from Addie and all that stuff like that. She wasn't stealing products. The woman had actually hired her, and that's true to form, okay? So Tiffany Haddish plays her daughter, and not much in our area is known about Layla Walker or Layla Walker. We don't know much about her here. However, she was is well thought of when it comes to the Harlem Renaissance and the people that were highly influential. And I do not like that people were kind of criticizing Tiffany Haddish's portrayal. Again, I feel it's like the script, and I feel like everybody wants to jump on Tyler Perry's neck. We're going to have to get on these folks' necks about these scripts. What's good for the gander is good for the goose. She did well with what she had. It was poorly written. The actual Layla Walker, she may have been gay. There's nothing wrong with people being gay. However, she had 3 husbands, 2 of which I believe she was married to after the death of her mother, and one of which she divorced probably a week or 2 before she passed away. So to simply say that she only got married to please her mom and that she was intimately involved with women and that she wasn't coming out with that, unless there are some actual factual people that can say, and if you know something about it, put your thoughts down in the comments below. I just don't see the point in them making that a part of the storyline. I mean, you can make a movie without without needing historical people to live an outlandish life. And by outlandish, I mean a life that wasn't actually lived by them, unless you have the historical facts to back it up. Another inaccuracy is the lack of competency of Mr. C.J. Walker himself. It is untrue that this man, who was already well-to-do as a newspaper advertiser, was unable. In fact, he is the reason why Madam C.J. Walker was able to spread her products so far. Okay? It was his idea, because when Madam C.J. Walker started working for Miss Annie Turbin, I believe her name is, Malone, she knew how to make the product to grow hair. All the Addie Moreau character introduced her to was the pressing comb. Mr. C.J. Walker convinced Madam C.J. Walker, and this is the lady that's Addie Moreau in the film, but she is Annie Malone in real life, and they were in competition with one another. And she was definitely angry with Madam C.J. Walker when she left, because that is when Madam C.J. Walker then came up with Glossine. And so the Glossine, with the mixture that of hair growth solution with the use of the pressing comb, was better. And Madam C.J. Walker basically just took her product and ran with it. So what you had more, and it would have been more interesting if they'd have did it true to form. If they'd have had Annie Malone really in competition with Madam C.J. Walker fairly, it would have been a better movie. And I want to know what you guys think about that. Why wouldn't they give these two historically iconic black women a chance to show how they were the Steve Jobs and Bill Gates of black hair care at the time? Okay, the fact that Annie Malone took Madam C.J. Walker under her wing. She utilized the fact that she was learning how to sell, learning how to produce in mass quantity. And then here comes Mr. C.J. Walker saying, hey, babe, you know what you should do with that? You should take that pressing comb. And she did not steal Annie Malone's. This is all, it really just irritated me. She already had a generic way that black women would grow their hair back. The same thing that Annie Malone produced. All black women, if you knew how to mix chemicals together and you knew how to mix those things with plants and herbs, you knew how to make this certain product. So to say that she stole it, it just totally turned my stomach for the movie itself. The fact they couldn't give Mr. C.J. Walker his accounted, allotted due. The fact that he was able to reproduce or try to reproduce a Madam C.J. Walker hair care line with his second wife shows that he was able, and he was not out and down and unable to financially take care of himself. So it was just almost like they looked over the real issues of the time, which was the fact that racist whites were more of the predators trying to stop black businesses from growing, as opposed to Annie Malone and Madam C.J. Walker trying to screw up each other's businesses. Okay, so Annie Malone got upset with Madam C.J. Walker for moving on, just like Steve Jobs got upset with Bill Gates. But hey, it didn't stop either woman from making their money. And I want to know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts and opinions below. This is Civil Disobedience. Make sure you subscribe. Peace.